I can hear her.
It's all good, man.
I can hear her in the background. We're just laughing at my daughter. She's in the room, so we can hear her in the background. Hi, everybody. Welcome in to the Raheel Show podcast featuring Jose Partida. Really, it's the Raheel and Jose show, but I just still haven't updated anything. You know why, Jose?
Why is that?
Because I don't have the budget for it.
I don't think you need to pay to update it.
Oh, yeah, man. You got to pay the internet. I'm not paying the internet.
What?
Yeah, you got to pay the internet, bro. Hey, nothing is free in this world. You got to pay the internet with
So who's paying for the internet right now?
like our tweets. But in order to pay the internet, it's like you got to pay the game, right? So I'm not going down. Are you going down? I've already gone down. I have nothing to lose here anymore. So I can't give anything else to the internet. You can. Are
So
you willing
are
to?
you saying you want me to change the name?
Yeah, I guess you would have to.
How
Even
would I
though
even go about doing that? All
I
right,
know how to do it.
give me all the logins.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. Football's back, woohoo! And everyone who knows me knows how much I love football. So
Yeah, you're a huge football. You're a
I'm
huge football
the
head.
biggest football fan. Yeah.
How many fantasy football leagues are you in?
All you're not even gonna believe it. All in total, I'm in zero.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be in like 100. It's the worst thing. I don't know. Yesterday, I could not. I was like, man, I can't do this. Like, I can't be on Twitter right now because I can't take fantasy football updates and I can't take betting updates. I can't do it. Like, it's so annoying to see
You're out on
people go,
that?
yeah, like I'm out, man. Like, I am so out on that. Even though I used to do it, but I guess when, like, I have a game that really matters tonight. Okay, but I'm not going to tweet about it if I don't hit or if I do hit. You know why? Because nobody cares. Nobody cares that you missed a 5-team parlay because the Tennessee Titans didn't cover the 3 points. Okay, that's what I'm playing that tonight. I need that really badly, but nobody
You're a
cares.
betting guy now?
I've been a betting guy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I go through my phases. Although I only put in a certain amount once I'm out, I don't put any more in. The reason I bet this weekend was because my bookie put $10 into my account.
Okay.
And just for fun, I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and make a huge parlay with this, a 5-team parlay. And you know what? It's one leg away. I just need the Titans -3, and I'll get free money in my account that I have to
See?
put. But then I have to bet it like $900 worth. Okay, until I can take out like $5 of that, because that's how they get you with my bookie. Is, they give you that free money. I hope when my bookie does sponsor this podcast, people don't hate on it. But what they do is you get like, they'll say, hey, we're gonna match your initial deposit dollar for dollar, $1,000. But then in order to get that money back, the free money, you have to bet it. You have to do rollover plays. It takes forever. So you never end up getting any of your money back.
You're like, you remember the show, The Magician's Biggest Secrets Finally Revealed?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing like the sports radio version of that. You're ruining the bit for everyone.
Oh man, my stuff about sports radio that's in our chat is so flagrant. It's
and you could join the chat for $5 a month.
I know. One day I'll put it all out in the in the air, but I can't right now. I owe it to too many people not to, so I'm gonna hold back. Peter says I still owe him $100. What do I owe you $100 for, Peter? I don't.
Fraudulent Raheel.
Peter Avila. How do I know that name? Oh, because I don't know that name, so I don't owe you $100. I'm sorry, buddy. That's just how it is. Okay. Football being back was weird. I don't know. I felt icky watching it.
You felt gross?
Yeah, I felt gross. We're still in a pandemic. People are still dying at a alarming rate. Then the president told me that football is boring, so I'm like, hey, wait. I kind of agree with this. NFL football is boring. I've been telling you guys. I've been telling you so much about this. Like, the NFL is not that great. It's fun. It's nice when your team is good. It's great. You like to have something to watch.
That's why it's not fun to you.
Yeah, but it's not that great. Like, you could watch something else. If you told me, hey, Raheel, go watch something else, I would have. But yesterday, I was excited to see what it would look like with no fans there, what the atmosphere would be like in terms of a few games with the Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars with the limited fans. But overall, I felt I didn't feel good watching it. Even the college games, I didn't feel right watching it.
Well, because college kids are getting exploited. That's why you didn't feel right.
That education isn't free, Jose. Is it? It's not free, okay? Although it's like, yeah, actually it is. What's the cost to you?
I honestly didn't feel any particular way. I don't know why I didn't feel any particular way, because I totally felt really like when baseball came back, it was kind of like I was just kind of like looking around and we were like, oh, we're doing this? Oh, okay. And maybe it's the circumstances baseball's being played under with the short season and the stupid 7-inning doubleheaders or whatever. But like to me, this was just like, oh, okay, cool. Football's back. Let me go find Lamar Jackson's game so I can watch Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. That was, man, Lamar Jackson. Gosh, he's so good. Patrick Mahomes. Gosh, he's so good. Deshaun Watson. He got his money.
You're going to slander Deshaun now?
It's time. It's time to start slandering him a little bit, okay? If he gets outplayed against the Ravens this upcoming weekend and Lamar Jackson
gets outplayed by the Ravens.
When he does. Honestly, yes, when he does. Okay? At some point, you know it's going to turn where Bill O'Brien is going to be like, hey, I just don't have the Joes for this, okay? My system doesn't work. I don't have a quarterback for this. At some point, it's going to turn where he's going to start blaming people. You know?
I mean...
No, I love Deshaun. Deshaun's awesome. Great guy. I'm happy he's a quarterback here, but he's not Mahomes, and he's not Lamar Jackson. Heck, he might not be Kyler Murray.
All right, you're going to have to chill with that one.
Did you see? Oh, hold on. What? Kyler Murray almost had 100 yards rushing, got touched once.
Charles McDonald, who I think he writes for the New York Post now. He's a national NFL writer. He's hilarious on Twitter. He says he said Kyler Murray runs like Stewie Griffin, and since he said that, I can't unsee it. Like rewatching the highlights today on the TV and watching Kyler run.
Do you remember my Kyler Murray bit that I did on air?
No.
Oh, every time Kyler Murray throws the ball, make this sound effect, okay? Just go. Every time he throws it, Granado and Dell do it all the time now. They're like, this is the dumbest bit ever. But once I said it, they like literally we text about it all the time, and it's just every time you see him throw, you just go because he's an itty bitty person.
So how do you feel about the fact that they apparently still use some of your bits? Do you charge them?
It. No,
you don't charge them for it.
No, what am I going to charge them for?
Get your paper. It's your intellectual property.
Jose, there's not much paper over there. That's why I'm not there anymore.
All right, you need to chill, dog. You're gonna get me in trouble. Chill out.
No, that was the reason. They said because of financial reasons, you're no longer there. So I don't think I can charge people for money at the station. Like, it's just not fair. No, but I talked to John today. I called him today just to say hi.
You gave him your blessing?
Yeah. No, I didn't give him a blessing. There's no blessings. He did say Juanito G. Rest in peace, Raheel and Delvincito. I guess that's what La Raza's been doing. I haven't heard Throw Shade Thursday because I'm usually in online school at that point. So I haven't heard them do this segment.
You're teaching now?
Yeah, I'm teaching. I'm sitting there making sure that a 5-year-old pays attention, which is all the time, man. It's all the time. They're over here right now, so I'm gonna ease up on the slander.
You're not trying to catch that smoke?
I'm not trying to catch that smoke. So you didn't feel weird watching football, huh?
It's so weird. You're trying to transition.
I know. I'm trying to
trying to play it off. Here. Oh, so what were you saying about football?
Yeah, this is a sports podcast.
Not at all. I didn't feel weird about football at all, truthfully.
I didn't feel weird about baseball because baseball games are already quiet as is, right? Like, there's moments where it gets loud, but for the most part,
it's because it's the intellectuals game, Raheel. That's why
it's a dweeb game. That's why
people are so busy thinking.
Yeah,
and they're watching baseball.
That's why all the dweebs watch baseball, except for the Astros. We're cool because we cheat, right? We're cool.
Yeah, with the sub 500 record or whatever.
I know. God,
or actually, no. Are they 500? Whatever.
No, they were 500. They were 500 Saturday night, and then they lost. Greinke got rolled, so they are under 500. And they've got, there's only 3 weeks left in the season. Less than 3 weeks.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. October playoff start. They've got the Rangers. They've got the Rangers right now coming up. And
do they?
Yeah, and then that's it. This season's over next week.
Oh, look, it's our brother Niall in the chat. Hey, Niall.
Hey Niall,
Good to
what's
see
happening
you.
in Corpus Christi, buddy? He just
Are you still living your best life, Niall?
no, I don't think he is. I don't think he's been to Disney World in a
he
while.
hasn't. He hasn't been to an Astros game. He's
My
shaking.
man, goes to Disney World all the time.
Good
I want
for
to give
him.
a shout out to Douglas Griffin. I saw him watching the ABC No Layups podcast as well. And Doug was like, "Hey, Raheel, do you remember me? I brought you wings one time." I was like, "Doug, yes, I remember you," but I couldn't comment because I don't have access to their page. So, Douglas, I want to give you some love, man. Thank you for watching. And yes, I remember your wings. Peter said I owe him $100 from the 3-point contest. Hey,
Oh,
Peter,
oh.
Peter, don't complain about betting. All right, I'm sure you go up to every team you've bet on before and go, "Hey, you owe me $100." If you don't have money to bet, don't bet, buddy. I don't owe you anything.
He bet $100 on you. How does that
I
make you
know.
feel?
And I shot 44%. Steph Curry numbers. I'm sorry.
How does
My
that make
bad.
you feel, though?
Makes me feel like I did my job.
Someone believed in you $100 worth
I
of
bet
their
on
own
myself and I
money.
lost money.
but my man Peter out here
I know. I'm sorry, Peter. That
putting
does
out
suck.
$100 that he worked so hard for.
I got so many people. I told him, I was like, play the 3 in a row. We're talking about my betting contest
Yeah.
that I did with my bookie where I
I still
shot.
can't believe you did that. That's crazy.
It was so much fun. I shot 25 threes, 5 at each location, corner, mid arc, top of the key, and then reverse it. And I had to make 3 in a row for one of the prop bets. And then I had to make, what was it, 13 or over 12 and a half? I forgot what my number was. Over 12 and a half was the number. So I had to make 13 threes. No, it was over 13 and a half, excuse me. And I made 13 and I didn't get to 14. So I shot over, I did a great, I mean, my number was great. I shot just fine. It's just I didn't hit.
Just
So,
fine's not good enough for you.
I know it wasn't, I was disappointed in myself too. It sucked. The pressure was different and I changed the way I shot because every practice round I did, somebody was passing me the ball. And I started dribbling before I shot in the actual contest, which threw me off. Yeah. So that was mine. Yeah, that was me. My bad. That was on me, Peter. I don't owe you $100 though. Sorry. Tough luck. Tough luck. Nabil said I look like I'm 12. That's because I did trim my beard. I went too short. But it'll grow back. It'll grow back in like 4 days. Don't worry, guys. And the reason I trimmed it was because I'm starting to do daily sports update for a TV station that's based online. Yeah, it's called NTV, the letter NTV. It's really cool. So it's owned by a South Asian guy. His name is Navroz. And this guy has been building up his own production company, his own TV kind of company. Like he's just been building it up. And he's been doing a lot of different things in film before. So they've been doing this news station that's online right now. And it's available on all the apps and everything. But what they're going to do eventually is hopefully get onto a big carrier as a channel. So what they're doing now is they did it mostly in Hindi, which is the native tongue of India, and Urdu, which is the native tongue of Pakistan. And now they're starting to do English newscasts. So they've got, they've got 2 different newscasts, and they needed somebody to do sports. And the guys over there know me, so they're like, "Hey, do you want to just do this right now?" I was like, "Yeah, man, why not?" Helps me stay sharp. Helps me work on my script writing and actually reading stuff and teleprompt and all that stuff. So it's cool. I started that today. I will tweet out how you can watch it because I don't know if they're going to use my take today. I don't know how it went. I did it and I just took off. But they're really cool. It's really
You
nice.
didn't stay for the feedback or anything? You didn't mingle with people?
No. So my contact there, she was there and then she had to leave. So I was just like, "Hey, what do you guys want me to do?" And I just took off. Too. I was like, "I can't stand here. This is just this is weird," and people are looking at me. So yeah, I started that today, so that's why I had to trim up the beard a little bit because I had a weird. I was trying to go for like a thicker goatee, but still a beard. I don't know. It was a mess. So I had to trim it up, and then that's why I look 12. Thanks,
Yeah,
buddy.
when we were chatting before we started, there was something that was different. I couldn't figure it out. I thought you had gotten a haircut, but I was like, no, his hair doesn't look fresh. So there's something, and I couldn't figure it out. It was it's your baby face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my baby face right here. It'll be back. My wife was like, "Why'd you do that?" So you look 12, and I'm like, "I know I look 12. I get it. I absolutely get it. But that's a good thing, right? Don't you want to look younger? Don't people want to look younger as they get older?
12? No, not 12.
Yeah. I think it's in right now. The younger you look, the better.
I don't like the direction this conversation's going in.
No, I'm talking about guys.
Mm.
Yeah, you got to look young, or if not, then people make fun of you. Like, oh, this guy looks old.
Buddy, did someone insult your age?
Yeah, somebody did.
Okay.
Raheel, I shot 28 threes, no big dog. You clanked 25 and made 3. Haters. That's fine. Whatever, Josh. It's okay. So yeah, I did that today, man, and it felt weird. I've been going to meetings with them, so I've gone and met with people, but because they haven't stopped working, right? Like they've still been doing newscasts since March. Like these people have been doing their jobs, they're still doing them. A lot of news stations are now back into studio as well, right? So like their normal is, oh yeah, we come to work, and they're normal, they get used to it, right? Where they're not wearing a mask all the time. So I walked in, and I've walked in previously with them with meetings, and I keep my mask on. I'm like, I don't know, I still feel weird. I can't be in a closed environment right now with no mask on.
The other day when I got to work, I got out of the car and I realized I had walked in through the building already, and I realized I didn't have my mask. So I was like, no big deal. I'm not gonna see anyone anyways. And so I get in the elevator, and there's someone in the elevator. So I felt so dumb. I just had my face against the wall.
Oh.
Just kind of like looking away the completely opposite direction, and I felt like a total ass.
Why don't you just put your shirt up?
Nah. I mean,
it's
I don't
like
know.
A mask.
That would have looked weird.
Like, yeah, like they stink.
No, I couldn't do that.
Do y'all wear masks the whole time you're at the building or in your?
No, I don't wear one when I'm in the studio by myself. And if there's someone in there with me and they're not close, then I'm fine. But like to walk around the office most of the time, yeah.
You do, right? So like, does everyone wear a mask when they're walking around?
No.
Just when they're not on air? No.
No.
I feel like there's some anti-maskers there at the station.
I wouldn't doubt it. They haven't been vocal about it, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. I can almost pinpoint who it is as well.
It's Granado, isn't it?
No, he had his mask on when I came up there.
He probably has. He had no. Yeah, I was producing his golf show on Saturdays. He would have a mask.
Yeah, he's pretty good with his mask. Because I think when you work in news, or your wife does, and like you see that all the time, and he watches Channel 13 a lot. I think you just go, man, you know what I don't want? I don't want this. I don't want COVID. And I also want to respect other people. But I get it when you're at work, again, like it just normalizes, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, I know pretty much everyone over here. I know most of you guys have already gotten it, I'm sure, and haven't told us. So who knows? But yeah, it was strange. Like I left it on the whole time. When I was about to record, the guy who was running my mic for me, he's like, "You gonna take your mask off when you do this?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I forgot. At some point you have to take it off." And he had his on, so I was like, "Okay." I looked. I was like, "Hey, you have yours on, right?" Because I don't want. I just don't want to be responsible for that. I don't want him to get something from me or whatever, right? So
it would have been funny if it would have been funny if he made you keep your mask on while he took his off. Just talk to them, because at first now I feel like they've kind of stopped, but on a lot of reports, like the newscasters would try to do their reports like on the field with their masks on.
Yeah,
that's kind of stopped.
Yeah, even in the bubble, I've said this a few times.
Oh, here you go with this crap again.
I don't get it.
It's an optics thing.
No. We're all grown ass adults here. Guess what? The optics aren't working, guys. There's still anti-maskers out there. And the people that are wearing their masks, they're still gonna wear their masks. Nobody's gonna be like, "Hey,
you know what?
I saw Malika Andrews not wearing a mask, so you know what? I'm not gonna wear mine now."
You're right. Optics don't work because there's still players trying to sneak people that aren't authorized to be in their rooms.
Yo, what was that about? Daniel House. I still don't get it. Was it real? Like he did for sure sneak somebody in? We're all 100% on this, or
I don't know.
Did the NBA just throw him under the bus because some other player was trying to sneak him in because he is
Oh,
married?
yeah,
And
with
I'd be
3 kids.
defending that. With 3 kids, I'd be fighting for my life if somebody was trying to throw me under the bus in that situation. And the Rockets didn't fight back, right? From what I gathered, it just felt like, oh, you know what? There it is. Yeah, this happened.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You're sounding a lot like Rockets Twitter right now with
No,
that.
no, no. I'm legit questioning this. I don't know. I don't know. Was it real?
No,
When
yeah,
did
it
when
was
did
it was
Daniel House
real.
admit it? When did he admit it?
There was really nothing to come out of it other
No.
than the statement, the official statement from the NBA where they said they were sending him home
Mm-hmm. I
and that
saw that.
they had a lot they had circumstantial evidence, right? Is what they said, or
Yeah.
what Shams reported, that they had circumstantial evidence that that there was someone in there was in his room. So
Damn. And then we don't know who it was, right? Because the rumors were flying the
oh
night
yeah,
it broke. Like I don't even want to say some of the rumors because it's not fair to the person. But there was people that were working in the bubble with him. Man, that's nuts. That's
yeah,
nuts,
man.
dude. Oh, I feel so bad for his family. Like you find out publicly like that. Damn. Damn, that's rough, man. That's rough. And that's gonna live on the internet forever for his
Yep.
kids. Shouldn't have done it, man. Shouldn't if it was true.
Shouldn't
If
have
it
been the fall guy, according to
ne-
Raheel.
never be the fall guy. Never be the fall guy. But you got to have a fall guy. Would you rather James Harden be out or Daniel House?
Oh, so you're
Huh?
saying it's James Harden?
No, no. If we're playing the game, if you fall guys, oh, there's only one person.
Hmm. How do you know it's
Yeah,
not Tyson Chandler?
Tyson Chandler. What was he doing that he needed
How do
some?
you, how do you know it's not Chris Clemens?
Ooh,
Mm.
I'd rather be Chris Clemens. Is he married? I don't think he's married.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think you could. I think a lot of the groupies are like, you know what? I probably don't need a G League guy in my life, so I'm good. I can't. Wife up right now. Let me see. Sorry, Johnny said sources from ESPN say he admitted the NBA was right for doing an investigation on him.
Mm.
Okay, but I need Daniel House to release a statement. I don't believe you guys.
Mm.
Okay, until Daniel House tells me who it was, why he did it, I don't believe you guys. Okay.
I think his wife wiped him from her social media.
Yeah, but Giannis wiped all the players away from the Bucks. Does that mean he's leaving?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
It's the same thing,
yes,
right?
actually, it does mean that.
No, he's not. He met with ownership for 3 hours.
Yeah, and he asked them why they why they let Malcolm Brogdon go.
Yeah, that's when you knew it was like, ooh, that's tough. But they were still the number one seed, so maybe you're just not as good, Giannis, in the playoffs.
Oh,
Maybe you're like, no, look,
Oh.
it happens. Tracy
you got some
McGrady.
takes today.
How good was Tracy McGrady in the regular season? And guess what happened? Didn't even leave the first round. Sometimes it gets a little bit harder. Sorry. Okay. And man, did the Rockets flame out. If Daniel House is the reason you didn't win, man, that is sad. That is sad. Like they just quit.
Yeah, dude, it's like the encapsulation of mental weakness. Like for you to fizzle out like that because of that, like, and I know, and Daniel House balled his ass off in the bubble like the whole time. And I know in the playoffs he was averaging like 11 points, which isn't a lot, but he was a bench player. But for that to crumble you is sad. Like that's weak as hell.
Yep. So you still had enough talent out there to make it a series. You weren't going to win that series either way, with Daniel House or without Daniel House. They weren't going to win it. Okay? But they could have made it more competitive. They could have put up a fight. They could have looked like they actually cared. But then I also get it, man. When you're away for 2 months, you're tired of that situation, and one thing breaks like that, your mentality changes. I get it, man. I totally get it too.
Look at Josh's comment.
Oh no, I saw this. Daniel House should have had them sneak the hose in like Nathan snuck the exterminators into the hotels. So stupid. Man, Nathan, for you guys.
What a show.
I need to go back and watch. You just watched the series finale or
I just
season
watched
finale.
the whole show, the series finale.
That was the series finale.
That was like
Okay.
an hour and 45 minutes long.
It was. I told you it's really good,
Oh my
right?
goodness. Yeah, what a show.
Did you end up tearing up at all?
No, I don't think so. No, definitely not. I would remember that.
Man, I was watching that and I said, it's so funny, but it was also so sweet. It was such a good, like, it was just such a good hour and a half of TV.
Yeah.
Man, I loved it. I loved it. Nathan, for you. Hey, you have anything else on the bubble before we move on to a serious topic?
I don't think so.
No. Good luck to the Lakers. I hope the Clippers win because I want to see Lakers Clippers. But you know what, Jamal Murray, I'm sorry, I didn't think you were this good. So you proved me wrong, and I'm happy the Nuggets made it a series. My buddy Johnny, who I drove his car up to Atlanta for. He says, "Who do you have, Miami or Boston?" I got Boston. I had Boston, Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think it was on Nabil's podcast. I said I wouldn't be surprised if Boston got there because I think they're peaking at the right time. They've got everything, so it's a good time right now. But man, Miami's going to be a tough out for them as well.
I'm on the Heat bandwagon, but damn, that Celtics team is so damn good.
One of my mentors he killed me. It was after the Spurs game 6, and I said, if I'm the owner, I trade James Harden. Like it doesn't get better. Like when you have that quit in you, it doesn't automatically get better. It doesn't. And I said I would have traded him for Jimmy Butler. I was like, give me Jimmy Butler because you know why? He fights every damn game, and I have this on record. I can show you guys. I just love Jimmy Butler, and guess what? Jimmy Butler might come up short as well, but damn, he never quits.
He went down swinging. Or he's going to go down swinging.
Absolutely. So, we'll see what happens here. I hope they don't get rid of Westbrook because then I'm going to have to watch 2 teams again. So selfishly, I'll still watch Westbrook. I still love Russell Westbrook. He has his flaws. I've admitted them.
Westbrook?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. The best thing that happened to him was William Rondo fighting with him because it took away from how bad he played. And how did William
Rondo? That's Bill Rondo.
Yeah, Bill Rondo.
Rajon Rondo's. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nabil said, "Do you do Harden for Ben Simmons?" No.
Oh.
No. Why would I want a more expensive Lonzo Ball?
Lonzo Ball was a better shooter this year, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Better, but he didn't shoot as well in the bubble, unfortunately. But he did in the regular season. It looked a lot better. He's a way better shooter than Ben Simmons. So, yeah, Ben Simmons. I'm good. Hard pass on him as well. Okay, this Wednesday, and it actually started today. Movember is doing a really cool thing. You guys know Movember. I was one of their global models, and I still am. They're going to reuse the
Were
campaign.
you? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was me with the mustache. I was on Subway. Remember that, buddy?
No, I don't remember that. No.
Remember, I was like, wow, my career is really peaking. I'll never get fired.
No, I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? I'm like, no. Wow, look, guys, I'm all over. I'm like on Subways in Australia,
around the world. Yeah.
Look, I've got global brands out there. I'll never get fired. So, anyways, Movember, they've been really cool. I've always, I've kept in touch with them. So they're doing a cool week of mental health awareness when it comes to Black, Indigenous, and people of color. So BIPOC, if you've heard the term, Black, Indigenous, people of color. So they're doing a week because those are communities that are often forgotten when it comes to mental health awareness for individuals, for communities. So they started their seminars and virtual conferences today. I'm going to be on a panel on Wednesday, So it's on Twitter. You can find how to watch it. You can go to the Movember Facebook page, Movember USA, and you'll find it there as well. So I'm really excited to be speaking on behalf of the Houston community and the South Asian community. So that's going to be on Wednesday. And there's going to be, people that are actually licensed to talk about this stuff, but they wanted me a part of it as well. And I said, absolutely, I'll do it. But I told them, I was like, I'm going to let the people that do this for a living talk about it, but I can talk about my experience if that's cool. So I'm doing that on Wednesday. For those of you that are listening live or listening on audio, if you're listening before Wednesday, it's 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can find it again on their Facebook page or on my Facebook page, Raheel Doing Things. You can find it there as well.
Look at you making moves.
Yeah, making moves. They'll
You're,
never fire me now.
you're not gonna want to bail on this one, are you? Like you did on the UT seminar.
Which one? Which one did I bail on? UT?
Didn't you want to bail on the UT? Oh, the graduation thing.
Which one?
I could have sworn you did. Maybe I'm imagining.
No, 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 no. That one was the one with Matthew McConaughey. The one where I was,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, that one I just felt bad doing. I didn't want to tell him I don't have a job.
Oh, that's what it was.
Because they were like, "Hey, we would love for you to be a distinguished alumni who, send a message to them." And I
Yes.
said, "Yeah, man." And
Let's do it.
that was literally a week after I got let go.
Oh, Jesus.
So I wasn't sure. I was like, "Man, I don't know. What should I tell them I'm not with ESPN Houston?" And I was like, "Ah, whatever. Who cares? I don't care."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do that one. Although I can't tell you when. I am doing a seminar for UT for their sports journal. Yeah, I am doing something for them along some national people's names. Yeah, national names. Jose.
Oh,
Yeah.
Will Kane.
No, what's up, Will Kane? Good luck at I can't tell you who it is. It's a she though.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll text. Oh, I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it in your chat. I don't
which
know.
you could become a member of for $50 a month.
Yeah, there you go. I put it in there. $50 a month. Support the podcast. We'll put you in the private chat during our shows, and you can get all the behind the scenes dirt. So I'll be doing something for them. I'll have details when they publish it. I think it might be just for students though, but I'll give you guys a link and you can watch for free. I'll put it up on Crack Streams.
They're never gonna invite you again.
Yeah, dude, you didn't know about the Red Zone channel being on Crack Streams or Front Row Sports?
No, I thought it was Sunday Ticket.
Yeah, it's on Sunday Ticket. But
Well,
you
I
can
have
also...
I have Red Zone through another avenue.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
So-
That link I sent you yesterday, because yesterday it was free. But you can
Yeah, the
always
Sunday
get
Ticket.
It. Yeah, you can always get it. That's how I normally watch it. I just Chromecast it from a source that is definitely not illegal.
Mm.
Crack Streams, what's up? You guys are awesome. The best. They are the best illegal site. So just throwing that out there. So yeah, I'll be doing that. And that brings us, since we're talking about mental health, Jose, we haven't had a chance to talk about this on the podcast, even though we've talked about it publicly on our social channels. I want you to set this one up because I still don't believe it was real.
Oh boy. Okay, so I guess it was last Thursday, if not last Wednesday afternoon. Everybody's favorite hot take artist, Skip Bayless, essentially called Dak Prescott weak for openly expressing the mental health struggles he's had since his brother passed away, and adding the pandemic on top of that, and how he was able to go get help and how it helped him improve. And he essentially called him weak and said the leader of America's team can't admit to something like that. And obviously he got killed for it, rightfully so. And it kind of just exploded into something positive, which I think is the awesome thing about this, right? It exploded into people just sharing their experiences and their stories, which is more of what we need, because it's such a delicate topic to talk about. As you mentioned, with people of color specifically, it's just so taboo to talk about mental health. And that Dak Prescott being able to openly express those emotions is something that's really important, considering the fact that the Dallas Cowboys, though they're not as great as they used to be, it's still one of the most popular teams in football. And just imagine what someone just watching their favorite quarterback saying, "Hey man, I needed help. I was not okay. I did not feel good after my brother died." Like that's such an important platform for him to have. And yeah, man, it's just, we should be celebrating people like that, not criticizing them or trying to make them seem weak, like they're weak.
Skip Bayless, the weirdest thing he did was he's like, look, I have empathy for people that are clinically depressed, but I don't have any empathy for this. Like, there's only either you're clinically depressed or you're not. Like, there's in between that, and that's so important to understand. And then he backtracked and he's like, no, I'm talking about the pandemic depression that he was talking about. No, even that.
Yeah.
Like that's a real feeling. There's a reason why people are stress eating and people are not able to sleep at night because they are going through this. And even though I'm sure Dak didn't financially take a hit from this, it is a real thing when you see that other people are struggling and you see that other people are going through this in a different way, right, than you are. Whether
Yeah.
it be they lost their jobs, they're in the hospital, hell, they passed away from COVID-19. These are all real feelings that people have. And it's so weak. It's so weird when Skip is just like, no, that's not, you know what? I have no empathy for that. I have no empathy for that. Like, that's all you need to know. And when you're watching somebody like that, it's not an act anymore. Like, to me, like the LeBron stuff and all that, that's just an act to get people to,
Yeah.
give him those social likes. Hey, buddy. Oh, this is hilarious, man. Good job, Skip. Hey, Skip, this is so funny. Oh, Skip, this is awesome, buddy. When it gets
Skip.
to, yeah, like, hey, will you be my friend, Skip? When it gets to a level where you're just downplaying somebody's mental health, that's just not a good person. That's just
Yeah.
disgusting. And I don't know why people still watch him. I have no idea, but they do.
For Shannon
Okay.
Sharp.
Yeah, or Shannon Sharp. Like, look, people watch him. Congratulations to them for playing the game and getting theirs and being who they are. That's awesome. Like, good, go do it. But at a cost like this, like, you have to understand you have a platform, and when you make an uneducated opinion like that and downplay it, it does have consequences. And luckily, the consequences, you're right, it was a positive one because everyone just took a major Odell Beckham on him, and that was awesome.
Why? Why?
Because that's what it is.
We're
And that
having
was
a
really good
serious
to see.
conversation.
Like, Kevin Love coming out and Kevin Love has been so
Yeah.
open about this, so transparent about this. Remember when Kevin Love came out about his mental health issues, what he was going through, people were doing the same thing. But
Yeah.
we've progressed since then. And people are like, hey, let's take a step back. This is real. This is something that people go through, and we're not allowed to judge them. If that's what they're going through, that's fine. And sure, they'll counter with, hey, some people misuse that, right? Like, they go, hey, I'm going through depression, or I'm going through a tough time in my life. And people just say, dude, that's not it. Just toughen up, man.
Right.
Or you're just gaming the system here. Even if they are, that's not your place to judge. That is not your play. That's not your decision to make, right? And that's what's frustrating is that Skip didn't understand that.
And Josh makes a good point. Like the fact that he committed suicide. His brother took his own life.
Mhm.
Clearly, his brother suffered with mental health issues himself. So for him to downplay and discredit those of Dak Prescott is just disgusting, man. Like nothing short of disgusting.
Mm-hmm. And that's a whole different angle. And then, how about you just apologize, dude? The next day, he just doubles down and he's just going, no. What I meant was,
Yeah, he was saying people were
like,
taking him out of context, right?
no, there was no. Yeah, that's the worst. When people say you were taking me out of context, when we see the actual clip, not just a 5-second soundbite, like a minute soundbite.
Yeah.
It's not taking it out of context. You said it. It's there. This is the internet now, guys. This isn't a newspaper article in the 40s that somebody reads and goes, oh, man, that was an interesting quote. No, everyone has access to this. And it was funny. Nobody came to his defense and was like, no, guys, the whole clip is here. Because sometimes people do that, right? They'll be like, no, guys, the whole show is here. This is what he meant. Nobody did that because everyone was like, this guy's being a dick right now.
Yeah.
And it's just, you're just doing it. You're not even doing it for clicks at that point. You're not even doing it for clicks because nobody, did a single person tune in to watch Skip Bayless because they're like, that's a good take, my friend. No, so it's not helping your brand. That was just your true self coming out. And it's unfortunate that people with a platform like that are still doing stuff like this when it comes to mental health. And one day when he eventually retires, somebody younger gets in his position, you hope that they have a better understanding of this and they understand that this is a real thing. So yeah, it was ugh,
Well,
ugh.
from what I read last week, his deal is up at the end of the month. Awful announcing had a story on it.
He's
That
gonna
is,
get more. He's gonna re up.
you
They're
think
gonna
so?
re up. Yeah, because Fox when they made their statement, they didn't suspend him. They
No,
didn't
you're yeah.
fire him.
Good point.
Right? They didn't do anything. They were just like, "Hey, Skip said this. We're sorry. We don't believe it." People were upset, and people were upset that worked at Fox. Right? They were upset like he said that, and they still didn't fire him. He might get a new deal if he wants to be there. They'll give it
It's
to
like
him.
remember when Cowherd was leaving ESPN
Hmm.
and he said some dumbass racist shit about Central American players being grittier because they grow up poor or whatever. It was like
Oh yeah,
on his. It was literally his last week of ESPN Radio, and ESPN Radio was like, "All right, we're done with you. You're not doing a show anymore."
yeah. They just suspended him, right?
Yeah, they just took his show off there.
They're like, "We're good. You're leaving anyways. Go to Fox, Fox Sports, because there's a big difference. Go to Fox Sports, and you're good. We're good. We don't need the kickback. Nobody's gonna watch Skip now. That like his diehard fans are gonna watch him. And that's a weird thing about controversy that people always say, like, no, this is good. This is good marketing for the show. Nobody's watching it. Like his ratings aren't going up because of this. This is gonna hurt him. In fact,
Yeah,
so because I think we all, as younger people, as we gain a bigger voice, we get to decide with our eyeballs and our dollars who we support. These things are important to us. They're really important to us because our parents didn't like look they didn't have the education about mental health. Okay, I can talk about my parents specifically and my community. There's no such thing as mental health because we don't know about it.
right.
We don't know about it. We just work. We're on the grind, which is the most unhealthy thing, by the way. Like, don't stay on the grind. It's okay to take a day off. It's okay. Relax. You need it, right? Like that's how people burn out. That's how people fall into that spiral. So my parents didn't have it. People in my community don't have it. But now I take it upon myself to let them know, like, hey, go look into this. Go learn a little bit more about it. Take time. Take time to go meditate. Take time to work out every day. Give yourself a break. Right? Like little steps. So it doesn't end up becoming a situation that culminates in somebody taking their own life, right? Because they didn't know, and that's like the worst case scenario, right? But you got to take baby steps. You got to take baby steps to at least focus on your mental health. We all focus on our health. We focus on little things. And for Dak to come out and say that, and here's the other thing, Jose, I didn't even know he did that interview. Did you?
No,
So like one of the great things from this was now it's amplified even more,
right.
and kudos to Dak, man. That's awesome.
Frankly, to be 100% honest with you, I didn't even know his brother had passed away.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Nevertheless, the fact he committed suicide, like I didn't know any of that
Hmm.
until this happened.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know either. You're right. So
So Skip did a good thing.
follow the money. What if Skip
Wanted
his
to
whole
raise
plan?
awareness on mental
Yeah,
health.
maybe that's what his whole plan was. He's like, the best way I can do is be myself, be a complete dick about this, not apologize again, double down, and people are going to be like, hey, we should have a better conversation about mental health. And guess what? It worked. So
Oh, wow.
congratulations, Skip Bayless, for being the number one draft pick for mental health. So that's what he did. Yeah, like it's tough, man. But shout out to Dak Prescott, man. That was awesome. I'm glad he talked about it. And you're right. What if a younger fan is like, man, if he's going through that, I'm going through these feelings. I should get some help,
Yeah,
or I should talk to
absolutely.
somebody about it, right?
I mean,
Uh,
and that happens. I mean, frankly, that happened with me. Like when I read that Kevin Love Players Tribune story in March of 2018, like that's what gave me the courage to go talk to a therapist because I had already been thinking about it, and a lot of my loved ones were telling me to do it, but it's just a real scary thing to confront. But like
mhm.
reading his story, reading Demar Derozan's, who had a story around the
Yeah,
time as well, like those stories pushed me in that direction. So imagine someone who I don't think it's debatable that Dak is probably a bigger star than those two guys, right? And coming out and saying those things, like imagine what that does
yeah.
for kids or people my age.
It, it's it's phenomenal, man. It's good for him. Good for Kevin Love, DeMar DeRozan, these guys. I'm sure, the old heads are going to take a big dump on this and be like, oh, whatever, man.
A big
Mental
Odell
health.
Beckham.
Odell Beckham on it. Oh, which, by the way, he played like Odell Beckham yesterday. Trash. He was so trash yesterday. But yeah, good on them to like get it out there. Use your platform for good. That's what it is. And look, you can hate on LeBron. You can hate on everything. What happened with China and whatever, all that stuff. But the fact that he's using right now his platform and has started this momentum of making sure there's enough voting sites, using the stadiums to vote, using these public funded buildings to vote at, have more locations so people aren't voting, so they have a chance to go vote. These are things that use your platform for good. You don't have to be LeBron James. You don't have to be DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Love. Use the platform that you've built with your friends, with your family, and make change. Like, we need more of that. It's as simple as that. Whether it be political, whether it be something as voting, something as basic as voting, telling people to go vote. Use the platform. Everyone has a platform. Everyone has it. Okay, use that platform to make a change in the world, and not enough of us are doing it, unfortunately. So make sure you're doing it. Make sure you're posting on Facebook about mental health. Make sure you're voicing your opinion about how crappy of a segment that was with Skip Bayless. So do more of that, right? Like put your feelings into actions now.
Yeah, man. That's what this year's been about, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. It really has this year. It really has. I don't know how to transition out of that because
transition.
The Boys season 2 episode 4. We promised we wouldn't break down the new episodes. People have had enough time, if you listen to this podcast, to watch The Boys season 2 episodes 1, 2, and 3. And oh boy, the whale scene was
yes. All right. Spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The whale scene. Holy shit. The whale scene. So I still think the dolphin scene is funnier in season 1, but I was not expecting that whale scene.
Who ruined it for me on somebody ruined it for me on Twitter, not you guys. I tweeted about, because I started watching it.
I did see that.
Somebody said, "Oh my God, what'd you think about the whale scene?" So when they started, when they got on the boat in episode 3, I was just looking for it.
You were waiting for the whale?
I was waiting for this whale scene.
The same thing,
gonna be, yeah.
The same thing happened to me with Ozark when I was tweeting about Ozark, and someone sent me the picture of Marty and Wendy with blood on their face.
Oh.
So I was like, "Oh, something's gonna go down in one of the last episodes where they like someone's going to die or in front of them or something."
Yeah.
So the whole time, like I already, as they were arriving to Mexico, I knew what was going to happen.
Oh man.
So literally the same thing happened with you, except mine, I think, is.
Yeah. I was just waiting. Worse. I was like, man, when is this going to happen? I thought it was going to be the helicopter when the New York PD helicopter showed up. I thought they were going to shoot a whale or something. And then when I saw the build up to the whale, I was like, no, they're not. No, they're not. And they went right through that bad boy. It was hilarious. And I love how gruesome it was. I love that, like, some of the organs were still beating.
Huey having an existential crisis inside of the dead whale was just perfect. Man,
it was so, and he had to go. MM had to go back in there to talk to him, and like organs are still beating, and it was just so weird. It was so good. But you're okay. So I thought the whale scene was better, but then I went back and watched the dolphin scene.
The dolphin scene is so much better.
The dolphin scene was pretty good because the truck at the end, I forgot about the 18-wheeler running it over. That was phenomenal.
I didn't forget about that. I forgot that the Deep and that dolphin were like,
were
in a relationship. Yeah. So like he just watched his lover die or whatever.
Oh, it was so stupid. That show is so stupid sometimes, but it's so brilliant. It's so brilliant. You need to watch The Boys. I'm not going to put Josh's comment up because it's still episode 4 related.
Right.
And I did ruin a scene for him, so I apologize, Josh.
Brandon does make a point that I don't think is unfair, that the season has been good, but it is a little predictable. I agree with that 100%. Like the thing with Kimiko's brother, like I knew immediately that was her brother.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as like when they went inside of that, they want to investigate what happened with they want to go look at those cameras in episode 1, I think, or 2,
Mm-hmm.
and she like lingers off away from them for no reason whatsoever. I knew then and there, oh crap, it's her brother, and that was
Mm.
kind of disappointing. But I mean, it's still a good show. It's, as I was telling you last week, I don't think it's been as fun. Season 1 I thought was pretty funny
It was really
throughout.
funny. Yeah.
But we haven't had that in this season. But to be fair as well, like shit's kind of hit the fan this season. Like they're
Yeah.
fugitives, like they're hiding. Like it's just I love this show so much, man. And season 4, I mean, excuse me, episode 4 is probably as good as the 5th episode, I think, if not the 4th episode of season 1, where they just like everything just kind of boom, like there's in one episode of season 1, Starlight and Huey go on their first date. The plane scene happens, and we find out completely what Compound V is in one episode. And this latest episode, was on par with that one in terms of just loading so much stuff up.
Yeah.
Like
this episode felt really strong, really long. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think it wasn't it over an hour.
It was definitely.
I think it was like an hour and 8 minutes.
I was like, this is not gonna stop. This is okay. I'm good with it. Like, keep giving me more. But you're right. There was a lot to unpack. There was a lot to unpack this past episode. So we're not gonna break down the episode fully yet because give people some time. But damn, it is awesome. It is off to a good start still.
And like they're doing more things that aren't from the source material. So that's exciting.
Yeah, for the dweebs that read it.
I mean,
okay,
why you gotta
cool
calm
guy.
down like that?
Oh, watch out, Mister. I'm
Keep
literate.
Keep talking. I'm gonna tell you how it ends. Keep talking.
Oh wow, look at
Keep
me.
talking.
I'm literate. Oh yeah, I can just mute your mic.
I will text you every day until you read it, even if it takes the rest of my life.
No, I can block you. I can block you.
I will find a fucking way. I will find a way.
How are you gonna? You're gonna mail me?
I'll get a hold of Hayden and tell her the spoilers, and then one day she's just gonna come home and tell you.
No, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to.
I'm gonna have to Zoom her.
Yeah, you're gonna have to Zoom her. You're gonna have to jump into her classroom, which I still am thinking about. Sending out the link to one of her online classes and letting everybody just Zoom bomb it.
Cool.
Her teacher today said cool to one of the students. Should I be alarmed or should I give her teacher of the year?
Maybe she's a supporter of the brand.
She could be, because the kid was like, hey, I like they're like, tell me something about you, because she has a new teacher today. For the last month, she had a substitute teacher because so it's been kind of weird, but they're so cool. Like, our substitute teacher was fantastic, and then our teacher was on maternity leave, so she just got back. So man, shout out to her doing online school and raising a kid still.
That's wild.
That is nuts, man. Man, that's tough. So she today, one of the kids, she was like, hey, so tell me something about you, and little Stevie was like, I like dogs, and I have a dog that's this color, and the teacher goes, cool. Like, I was like, whoa, hold on, she's for the culture. It's good. We like her. So that happened today. My friend Johnny, my buddy, one of my best friends, he has an interesting question here. Is there any way our community can educate our parents about voting? I feel my parents are going to make a bad decision when voting this year. They aren't educated on why they are making the vote they vote. Just curious. I don't know how I feel about that, because I'm not one to tell people how to vote as long as they're voting. Like, as long as you're using your right to vote that you had to earn, and I know his family had to earn that right, like my family, and like I did. As long as you're exercising your right to vote, that's what matters. How they vote, you can educate them. You can show them both sides of, here's why you should vote this guy. Here's why you should vote this guy. And you can try to convince them, but it's their vote. That's what makes our country great. You know, it's like their ability to do it. But you should educate them and tell them why you're voting a certain way. That's fine. I tend to stay away from that. Like, that's just not my business. I'm going to tell you who I'm voting for. if I want to, and I can convince you, maybe, but it's not my duty. Like I'm not gonna do that unless they pay me and they're like, hey, yo, you want to be part of the Republican Party, and we're gonna pay you. Then yeah,
You're
sure.
such a phony. You're such a phony. Whenever they would do the bit on the show that you were a phony, I always felt bad for you. But
Why?
man, was I on the wrong side of history. You're such a phony.
Would you take money right now from either party to be like a celebrity endorser?
From one party, yeah.
You would, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Not
even
from
know if I
both.
would. Oh, I'll tell. I'm not voting for Trump. I'll tell you right now. I don't care. That I'm open with. I'm not voting for him. But I don't know if I would take money from the Biden campaign either. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, can you afford to make that decision?
Okay. Point taken. I'm listening now. I understand. I understand what you're saying. But I'm not. I'm not sure.
Man,
Because that follows you forever.
right.
Right? Like there's no way out of that. There's no way out of that. What if, Biden does something horrible and guess what? They're gonna be like, oh, this is the guy you back. Guess what, guys? They both suck. Okay?
Yeah, truthfully.
Truthfully, they're all about one thing. Okay? They're all about the power. That's it. That's all they care about. They just want more power, right? And some of their decisions will impact you. Some of them won't. I don't know. So that's up to you, but go vote, okay? At least take the time to vote and exercise your right. That's the biggest thing. He says, Johnny says, here's the problem. I don't know about all parents, but they will not listen to me. But if someone else tells them the same thing, they're all in. Weird, huh?
I feel like this is his way of telling you that you need to talk to them for him.
Dang, I didn't know his parents voted Trump, man. I'm not. Unless, what if this is the twist, Jose? What if my one of my oldest friend, I've known him since I was 5 years old. What if he's afraid his parents are voting for Biden, and he wants them to come over to the Trump side? Ooh, I don't know. I'm confused right now.
I feel like you need more information before you make a decision.
Yeah, I can call them and tell them to vote, Johnny, but I'm not going to convince them. That's hey man, Johnny, I'm going to judge your parents. If they're Trump voters, that's on them, bro. That's on them. That's not my fault. Nabil says, what are y'all's thoughts on Rogan moderating the Biden-Trump debate? That's not going to happen.
He's just going to spend the whole hour talking about how everyone tried to cancel him. Get out of here.
You don't like Rogan at all, huh?
I'm indifferent about him. I feel like people stand him too much.
Man, I don't know. I think I'm going to defend him because I've been listening to him since his podcast was really small. Like, I'm not a bandwagon Rogan fan. I've been listening since 2000. It's
a personality trait to be a Joe Rogan podcast listener, Joe Rogan experience listener, right?
Yeah. It's you start taking some really, there's a lot of good that comes from his podcast. And then there's a lot of moments where he is legit being a comedian, but I don't think he understands, like, again, the platform thing. You have a huge platform. And yes, at one point it was just comedians messing around and we were just, having a good time. But like you're on a different platform now. You're not just a comedian messing around. Like, people listen to you. People believe what you say. People will take what you say to heart. So I think there is some of that adjustment that misses out. So yeah, like, what do you do? But I hope they do that debate, because it would be fun for 4 hours to actually have somebody dig in on some of the answers that politicians give. I'm with that. I'm totally with that. Whether it be, and Trump lets you, he's going to give you the spin around, but at least we'll know, like, hey, or excuse me, the runaround. We'll know, like, hey, this guy's giving us a runaround. Because one thing Rogan does do, he does dig deep into answers. Like, that is something he's good at. As a listener, I can tell you, if you say something that seems kind of off, he'll jump in and be like, no, I don't think that's true. And they'll look it up and they'll go in and go listen. If there's one that you do listen, go listen to the Bernie interview. He did one with Bernie Sanders, and he didn't just let him give layup answers. Like, they actually dug into what he said and some of the things that were his platform. So I would like that, as opposed to, who does them now, Jose? Newscasters and opinion people, right? Like you've got guys there that are. This is a huge moment for them. If I was moderating a presidential election and they said, "Hey, Raheel, do you want to do that?" You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to ruffle feathers because I have too much to lose. You know who doesn't have anything to lose? Joe Rogan. So there might be a benefit there if they ever did it, but they wouldn't. There's no chance they ever do it. Like I don't think it's going to happen.
Mm.
No thoughts on that.
Mm.
All right, point and Raheel. It is weird how the debates are done. I don't like them. I don't like them because
I find them so frustrating to watch.
Yeah, you never get really anything, right? You don't get anything from them.
No, it's I hate. Frankly, I hate watching them. I know there's people who like look forward to watching them. I don't understand how you can exist that way. It's just so annoying to watch them.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I never, like I tried it one year and I was like, man, I didn't learn anything about
political Raheel.
Yeah, and that was I'll tell you which election it was. It was 2012. And I was like, okay, I need to figure out like who am I going to vote for? And this is when President Obama, all the stuff is coming about national security and NSA comes out and like, hey, you just been like green lighting all this. It's cool. Yeah, it's fine. And I was like, hey, that doesn't make sense. No, I got to watch your debate. I got to figure out like, how do you really feel about this? And I didn't get anything. I left just as confused as before. And when you break it down, again, these are newscasters doing this. They're not political people that are going to dig in. There's no bias. They try to be unbiased, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I want somebody that's biased at that point to dig in on some of the answers and be like, hey, that doesn't make sense. I don't think that's good. And then you'll have fact checkers afterwards. How about fact checkers right there? How about we call them out on their BS right there? Like somebody rings a bell and goes, ding, that's not true. That's not true. Hold on, fact check. Stop. That's not true. But I don't know. There you go. I still would like Rogan. I know you wouldn't, but I'm all for it.
We've got an update. He said his parents are going Trump.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna have to.
What is wrong? What is happening here?
You're gonna have to make a call.
I don't get it.
Give Raheel on the phone, baby.
Oh man, they must have watched. What was this show? The stupid show, The Boardroom. What was it? Trump show, the reality show.
I can't remember it, man.
The Apprentice. There you go, The Apprentice. They definitely watch that. That's all they know him as. I don't see them following politics either. So who knows? All the jokes today were pretty funny about, hey, Jamie, pull that up. That's the thing he does on the podcast a lot. He'll just tell his producer, Jamie, to pull up all sorts of nonsense, like a monkey beating up a moose or whatever. So like it happens all the time. So yeah, it would be pretty funny if that happened and Jamie's there and he's pulling up images like Josh is saying, hey, what are your thoughts of AI? Hey, Jamie, pull up that video of the robots. Yeah, like that. He would do that. So whatever, it'd be interesting.
You're fanboying the hell out of this.
Well, I think because we would actually get substance out of debate, and I think we would learn a lot more about. It's not going to change my vote, okay? I don't think it will, but I think we'd actually understand that these people are there's a lot of BS involved, right? So whatever, like there's a lot of crap involved and you're like, hey, well, tell me a little bit more about this. Why do you feel this way? Tell me how you're going to change this. Not just an easy answer. Let's dig into it because that doesn't happen on other debates. That's the only reason I would like it.
I get all of that, but it just feels like this isn't the election for that because of the two people who are in running for it.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of feels like everyone's already like established, like we're okay with voting for this racist person, or we're content with voting for this old demented guy. Or
it's as long as it's not that guy. It's not Trump, so I'm going to vote for whoever it is.
So it just doesn't feel like this is the election for that.
See, I think you're right. I think a majority of us, it feels like, are that way. But I don't know. I don't know, like, is there a middle ground right now? Are there people still on the fence about all this? I know in our circles, I feel that, absolutely. Like, hey, why would you? Yeah, I do feel that.
A middle ground?
No, I'm saying in our circle, I feel that, like, it's either, hey, we've already decided.
Right.
We've already decided. But if there's one thing we've learned from previous elections, that there is this huge middle ground. There is, most of us don't vote, by the way. So there are more people there to decide this election, whichever way it goes. But the majority of us don't vote, so maybe that helps. I don't know. Because a bunch of people listen to this podcast, so maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. But to me, it would be really eye opening. Like, hey, okay, so you like why do you feel about this? Why do you feel this way about something? Tell me a little bit more about it. Not notes. Not, we come back with an answer a little bit later. Not your press secretary or your campaign manager answering this. You tell me why and tell me back this up, because that is something that he would be able to do on a longer interview / debate. You can't do that when you have time limits and you've got network duties that you've got to fulfill and all that crap. Like, it just doesn't happen. It's just a pony show at that point. So
a little Sebastian show.
Yeah, rest in peace to little Sebastian. Rest in peace. Okay, wow, we're at an hour. Do you want to do click or no click, or do we want to end this today? Anything else that we forgot to bring up?
No, I think we're good. If you want to do click or no click, I'm down.
I think we end it because we're way over, and people have already clicked out. They're like, I don't want to listen past 40 minutes.
Or are they talking politics for 20 minutes?
Yeah, that I don't need. I thought that was pretty good. I can't. One thing, you started a new show. You're in your British bag. Look at you, mister.
I'm in my British bag, mate.
Hipster. Oh, look at me.
So I stumbled upon this show called People Just Do Nothing, and I literally started watching it yesterday because I woke up super early, and I was just kind of waiting for football. So I was like, all right, let me go on Netflix and find something. And I thought it was just going to be one of those, everyone does this, right? You get on Netflix and you scroll for like 15, 20 minutes trying to decide on something you watch, and then you end up just watching The Office.
Yeah.
I was just scrolling, and I stumbled upon this British show. And it's essentially like a group of failed artists, failed rappers, and DJs who started like a pirate radio station. And just like all the shenanigans and stupid stuff that they do to try to not get caught. And they're getting followed around by a camera crew. So it's like a ripoff of The Office.
Okay.
But it's in England, like the original version of The Office, and it's a pirate radio station. So it's essentially the idea that I thought I would one day make a sitcom out of.
Okay, I like that. How long is it?
It was on BBC, so they do this weird thing where they do like 5-episode seasons.
Yeah.
So it's 5 seasons with like 5 episodes each, so it's probably like less than 30 episodes.
Okay, cool. I will try to watch it.
Josh said we forgot to talk about The Social Dilemma.
Oh, no, we didn't.
I haven't seen it.
That's why. There you go, Josh.
That's why we haven't talked about it. I will watch it this week, though.
Yeah, that is everyone's homework for this weekend. Make sure you watch Social Dilemma on Netflix. It's a documentary about all of the social platforms that we have: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram,
like TikTok. The ones we're on right now.
Yeah, like we're on right now. Thank you for watching, by the way. And just how bleeped up it is. It is so messed up. It is tough.
Maybe watch it after we talk about it, because you're probably going to want to delete your
Or
Facebook.
Do this. Subscribe. If you're already subscribed to our podcast feed, subscribe there. If you're watching live, subscribe there. And then we'll just get off of these platforms and then just go straight to podcast only like we did before. Because we didn't live stream before as much. So maybe we get back to that. And I've said this before. If I didn't have to use Facebook for work, I would delete that right away. I would download all of my content from there and peace out. I think Facebook is the worst one. Twitter, I can't quit. No, it definitely is. Twitter, I can't quit because Twitter, it's not as intrusive in terms of the ads. It's not as bad to me, and I love Twitter because it's like a big text message, right? Instagram is starting to creep up on that level of how intrusive it is.
It's really intrusive.
It's really bad. And you'll learn about why it is in this documentary.
Okay, because I was off Instagram for almost 2 years. And when I came back, like I realized like, oh man,
yeah, this
is so different. Like there's stuff that I was getting ads for. I was watching one of my favorite shows it's a show in Spanish that's a soccer show. And at what point their teams are trying to switch sponsors to a Mexican brand called Charlie. And the next day I was getting ads for Charlie on Instagram.
Yep.
I'd never looked up anything Charlie related, but I had all these Charlie soccer ball and Charlie soccer cleat ads.
It's listening, man. I don't know if I talked about this publicly, but somebody that I trust a lot that deals with this for a living. I've made my point to him. I was like, dude, there's no way that these social media companies have figured out my algorithm and my social profile enough to give me an ad about a company I just talked about yesterday. Like that it's not possible.
Right.
They're listening. They absolutely are, and I've done tests on this. And I can't tell you what he does if I haven't talked about it publicly. I don't remember. I don't want to throw him under the bus anymore. But I made a really really important pitch to him about this. I was like, I'm telling you, dude, you gotta look into this. You gotta look into this because it is happening. It's 100% they are listening to our conversations because there's no reason why X brand should be showing up in my feed when I've done no searches that are either about the brand or around what the brand does. Like there's no way. So yeah, it's crazy. Nabil, we might have to get him on one day because he works in cybersecurity.
Oh,
Yeah, he works in cybersecurity, so you might have to put together something for me to bring you on, so we can one day you'll. I mean, I'm sure you'll get fired, but I need to know these allegations thrown at Facebook because, yeah, and you'll see in the social dilemma, man, it is a bleep show, dude. It's unchecked madness, and it explains so much about why our country is the way it is right now. That was my biggest takeaway. Like this all makes sense because there was a moment where our country changed, and this talks about that. Why we hate each other so much. So make sure you watch it. It's a really good documentary. Well done by Netflix. Good job, Josh, for recommending it. Finally, you bring something positive to the show. So it's really good. It's really good. Yeah, watch it. Social Dilemma. We're gonna end on that. We'll talk a lot about it next week because it is phenomenal how much we are owned by them. Like you're gonna be like, damn, this sucks. This sucks how much they know about us. All right, we're done, Jose. Thank you, buddy. We went a little long there. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I appreciate the comments. Jose appreciates the comments. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review the podcast if you haven't already. We will talk to you next Monday night at 8:30 p.m. I thought you were gonna say stay spicy. I'm
oh,
waiting for you.
I thought you had already ended it. I'm sorry. Stay spicy.